Thank you. Shilpa ji and distinguished audience present here, a very good evening and namaskar to all of you. When you are the last speaker, you are at a disadvantage. Whatever point you had planned to raise, they have all been raised by the eminent speakers before me. So let me divert a little. You know, this year Diwali I enjoyed the most. I made it a point to burst crackers. Usually I never would. I would let the kids do it. But this time I joined with vengeance. This is ridiculous. Last week, the statistics have come, which says that the pollution level is the highest in the last 5 years. Only last week. And last week I don't remember celebrating Diwali. I don't know. But then there is a whole hue and cry, Diwali. You know, Diwali is responsible for, you finish Diwali, pollution is over. India becomes paradise, we get Switzerland like, you know, and then that is Diwali, you know. So Diwali is the main villain, you know. But Diwali is not the only villain. There are other villains. You know who is responsible for water pollution in this country? Durga Puja. You immerse the goddess and the entire water, Jamuna vagara, abhi bhi kharab hai. Only because of that. Ganga, nobody is able to, despite pumping thousands of crores, only because of Durga Puja immersion or Ganesha immersion. That is the only reason. And there is a problem with we develop a lot of skin diseases, you know, only because we apply colors on Holi. I mean, I have started, you know, now whenever a Supreme Court verdict comes, you know, I start laughing. I don't know. What? I mean, are they out of sync? Or are they totally driven by, and there is something called trial by media, you know. It's a serious debatable topic where the whole country is debating that is the judiciary pronouncing verdicts and judgments on the basis of what is appearing in media. So media activism and judicial activism, you know, it's a deadly combo. So if media tonight, this evening, decides that somebody has to be hanged, 99% chances are that he's gone. Because the problem is when the judiciary becomes populist, then justice somewhere gets lost. Because I am also doing what politicians are doing. You know, I am pandering to whatever is being, what is the narrative, the popular narrative. So I decide on a non-existent, you know, thing called green crackers. How many of you have been able to figure it out? Nobody has been able to. What is green crackers? But I also made it a point. This time when I got the crackers, I ensured they were packed in green boxes. So they are green crackers. I can always show you. Hara wala dabba hai, dekho. So that is green crackers. In Assam, there are some traditional firecracker makers, unlike Sivakasi. But are they being promoted? Is there a plan B in force? Or is it just a judgment suddenly from nowhere? And what is the scientific basis on which these judgments have been made? Have there been comparative studies? Why is it that the air quality index, AQI levels, are far worse, you know, today last week, last month, compared to even the Diwali statistics. Because we have got a scapegoat. You know, I remember that in young age I studied a very interesting story. And there was this poor lamb who had gone to take some water from the lake. And there was this lion standing there. So lion said that, well, I'm going to eat you up. He said, why? What happened? What did I do? He said, you cheated me the other day. He said, no, I didn't cheat you. Okay, then it must be your father. You know. So, you don't want to hit the, please take it seriously. Today the advertisements are so huge, the advertisement revenues for electronic and print media, they don't want to touch the automobile industry, which is responsible for pollution. They don't want to touch the industries which is responsible for pollution. But they need a scapegoat. Diwali, uske baad Parali. For hundreds of years that has been happening. But nobody has been talking about it. Now, I am not saying that it doesn't cause. But then I have a problem when it becomes so selective, you know. When you are not ready to touch those industries along the river which have put in a lot of money and they are throwing effluents into the river, you are not ready to touch that. You don't want to touch them because they are too powerful and they know how to bribe their way up. You don't want to touch them. You don't want to touch the automobile industry which is splurging money on branding. You don't want to touch them. So you look for a scapegoat. The same is whether it is river pollution, whether it is, you know, whatever it is. So let us start looking at, it's not about just the, you know, sentiments. I'm talking about very, you know, why they don't want to target the real villains. Why are they looking for scapegoats? That is why I have a problem. That is why I decided to celebrate with a vengeance. Before I am given another chit, let me now come to the next subject. This morning, I was watching an exclusive interview on NDTV. Where else? And that interview was with these two, you know, chivalrous ladies, Kanaka Durga and, you know, who on that day you saw that who were repeatedly asking their male escorts that did you take the video properly? You know, I don't know how many of you saw that video wherein they were speaking in Malayalam, where they were asking that it has been captured on video na properly. They don't have the traditional that they take along, the Irmudiketta. They did not take the 18 steps. They took the back route and they went. That's fine. We were told that television channels were screaming that victory at 1:35 p.m. The last time we had victory was freedom at midnight. After this. You know. So victory at 1:35 a.m. That was the kind of headlines. Today they were saying that we went there to prove, to ensure, in the interview they said, that the authority of the Constitution is established. When was the last time you went to a temple to establish Constitution? I go to the temple because I am a devotee. I go for divine blessing. I don't go there to impose Constitution. But I was told on today morning's telecast that we went there to establish gender equality. So you did not go there as devotees. That was not your idea. You did not go there. You went there because you had some other purpose. I don't want to get into the details because Shilpa ji has already dealt with it. But in Kerala we have a matriarchal society, you know. And majority of the women are highly educated. And majority of the women are, India has got the largest women, Kerala has got the largest women workforce in the country. And they are ready to wait. They are ready to wait. Because there are certain traditions associated. For example, when I go to a Kerala temple, any of you go to a Kerala temple, if you are a man, you will be asked to take off your shirt. I have to go bare-chested before the Lord. In any temple, forget Ayyappa temple, any temple. Now tomorrow will they also appeal that that is gender equality? I really want to know. I mean, how far will you go? There are traditions. There are white clothes which are draped when you go to Hajj. Tomorrow you say, no, that is discrimination against red cloth. You should wear only white. Why only white? No. White wear we will not allow. Now, how far do you go? When people there are ready to wait, and that is about that only temple. No other Ayyappa temple has any problem. Only that particular temple, because as she rightly pointed out, it is a, even it's a living deity. It's an entity. Even Supreme Court and High Court has said that, say in the Ram Janambhoomi thing, Ram Lalla is the person who has he is one of the stakeholders in the whole matter. So when the Allahabad High Court divided in that judgment, one was for Ramlala, one portion. It's a living entity even acknowledged by the courts. That is what we believe in Hinduism. It's a living entity. Because we have something called Prana Pratishta. In the temple we do Prana Pratishta. So we are giving life to it. So why are we comparing it to another? Every religion has its own beliefs. So this belief, now how can you compare this with a practice like no, if triple talaq can be followed, why this cannot be? So it is like, why if you can eat apples, why not oranges? I mean, apple is an apple, orange is an orange. Because there is no comparison. Because this is where women are not being discriminated. You can go till the age of, 10 you can go. Then after the age of 50 you can go. So where is the discrimination? And this is a choice taken by the women of Kerala who have said that no, we don't want to go. Because when you believe in him, then you will not violate what he has said, So, my problem is when I sitting out in Delhi without understanding what is happening. Can you imagine what is happening there apart from what is happening at the ground level? I'll give you how a television channel has become so popular. There is a television channel called Janam, which was nowhere in the BARC rating or the radar. And the biggest channels in Kerala were Asianet, then all these Manorama and Kairali and all that. Janam was nowhere there. But post this entire episode, because that was the only channel which talked about the ground realities, suddenly Janam has become number 2 channel in the state. Because people want to see reality. Now, I only want to say that, when I conclude, these are our fine, ideal, a lot of judgments are coming. But are they infallible? That is my question. The kind of very ridiculous statements coming from some judges. That makes us think whether they have gone deep into the issue. Has it been presented properly? Have they been represented? And why not we touch the bigger issues? Like why is it? It's a simple question. I'm talking about discrimination. Everyone is talking about discrimination. Why is it that when you talk about freedom of speech and religion, why is it that all churches are independent of the government, all mosques are independent of the government, all gurdwaras are independent of the government? Why is it that all temples are under the government? And those funds received by the, temples are not being used for work related to the temple, but being used or misused or abused by politicians. Why that issue nobody is taking, that why temple should be under the control of government? Because they bring in a lot of money and these temple management boards can be infiltrated with your people who don't believe in, the divinity. Why are we not looking at the larger issues? Nobody is talking about that. So, friends, my only humble request to you is that please continue bursting crackers. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about it. Because your not cracking is not going to solve the pollution problem in this country. There are bigger problems which need to be handled, and we hope that the courts will look at wider issues rather than look at very elitist, intellectual driven issues. Thank you.